As you can see from the title, that this is a total departure from anything that I normally do. This is not about my channel. This is about something that is far more important. There's two things I want you to know, or maybe even three things I want you to know before I start my comments about something that is just absolutely horrifying to me. Number one, this will not be monetized. This is not about money, making money off someone else's hurt and their anguish and their death. This is about getting a message across to people so that they understand that there is always hope, and they should never ever give up without reaching out to someone and making sure that their feelings are known, that they're hurting inside, and that the depression and the anxiety of their life has become so intense that they don't want to live life anymore. I have been there. There are going to be so many uncanny things about this video that are going to absolutely blow you away that I can't even begin to fathom how this parallels my life so dramatically. The second thing I want you to know is that anyone out there on the YouTube channels, on social media of any kind, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it might be, cyberbullying or treating people with disrespect and being horrible to another human being is totally unacceptable. It is not acceptable in real life. It is not acceptable in YouTube life or in social media. Words have consequences. Words kill people. People are fragile. I want anyone who is out there that is doing this kind of thing, if you're out there harassing or bothering people who are just trying to make a living or trying to display their particular lifestyle, whether you agree with it or you disagree with it or anything else, the number one thing that you must stop today is bullying someone and using their life to benefit your life in some way just for some freaking YouTube channel. You know who you are. I'm not going to bring up your name because you're a disgusting human being. When we get that out of the way, I want to talk about the real thing and the most important thing in this whole video, and that is the life of Lee MacMillan. When I started watching YouTube, I'm a 62-year-old man. I'm not the typical guy that sits around and watches YouTube. But when the pandemic hit, I couldn't hang around with all my music friends anymore, couldn't see my family, couldn't be with my children. I turned to YouTube, and unbelievably, the very first channel that I ran across that I was interested in was Max and Lee. Their travels. I binge watched for days every single video that I could find of theirs because I just thought they were amazing people. Did I agree with every single thing that they did? No. But I loved them because they gave me a purpose when I was very depressed and anxious. I have suffered with this my whole life. I had no idea that Lee suffered from depression. I had no idea. I just absolutely loved the channel. And then when I found out late last year that Max and Lee were taking some time off, it hurt me. And I knew that she was taking care of Aki up in Canada and trying to get him home to Australia. And she was trying to move on with her own life, trying to make a life for her own. And I think that she wanted to be back on YouTube in whatever capacity it was. And she was as far as I'm concerned, as I watched her, I thought she was doing great. I would have had no idea that this was about to happen. I know that Max down in Australia is absolutely devastated. Not because I've talked to him or whatever, because I know his personality. And I know that Max loved Lee. I know that Max loved that Lee took care of Aki and made sure Aki got back to Australia in good shape, and that he was well cared for while he was stuck in Canada during this pandemic. And I also know that his heart hurts tonight, because I know that deep inside, even though we are not with somebody and they have been part of our lives, we have a deep love and affection for that person. And that just doesn't go away overnight. Yes, we find new loves and we find new interests and things like that, but we have to understand that there's a lot of pain that goes with losing someone that was part of your life. And the next thing I'm about to tell you is probably the most amazing thing about this video, because this video is not about me. This video is about Lee MacMillan and her life and the tragedy of what happened to her. My son, who is 31 years old, lost a love of his life the exact same way that Lee lost her life, by walking out in front of a train. If that's indeed exactly what happened. I think there's some murkiness on all of this, and I don't want to say things that are not true or whatever. I want to be careful what I say here, because I have read so much about this before I decided to make this video. I thought it was so important to make sure that I had accuracy in what I was saying before I made the video. But my son lost his girl to the same thing, and I have watched him feel guilty his whole 10 years of his life since this happened. Every year, a couple times a year, he has to take time away, either with me or his mother or his friends, to do something on certain dates. The date of her death and her birthday. Those days are so hard for him that he just needs to escape. I want to say something to Lee's family. Lee did not want to do this. Lee could not help herself. Lee was in a place where she couldn't pull herself out of it. That is part of what depression and anxiety is. And for those of you who are out there suffering from this disease, please get help. Reach out to someone. Reach out to your family, to your friends. Reach out to a stranger if it's hard to reach out to those you love, because you feel embarrassed, or you might feel like they're not going to take you serious. Reach out to a total stranger if need be. But reach out. It is so important, because your life matters. Your life matters. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people loved you, Lee, and you are going to be missed by those people. I am so, so sorry that somebody drove you to the point of where you felt you had to leave everything in your apartment and leave your home and be gone missing for a period of time, to where somebody felt like it was time to call the police and check on you. And then we learn of your death. It is so mind-boggling to me that this has happened. But it's more mind-boggling to me that someone, and this is not just one particular person that I'm talking about, the person that may be responsible for this, there's a reckoning coming for you. And I'm going to tell you, I know you took all your stuff down, and I know you tried to cleanse your page and whatever, but I'm going to tell you, or your channel, But I'm going to tell you, that's not going to be the end of this. Because those of us who love to watch this kind of stuff and watch people's real lives do not want to see the people that we care about and have learned to love vicariously through the TV or through YouTube. We don't want those people to be harmed by your words and your vitriol and your disgusting display. I'm giving this person too much time, and I don't want to do that. Lee, love you, man, and I miss you. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry that you did not feel like you could reach out, that you could not talk to another person about your pain. I'm sorry for your family, your friends, and everyone who loved you. And there were so many. I don't even think in the moment that you did this that it even mattered to you, because the pain was just so much. I get it. I get it. But we wish you were here. We wish you were with us. We wish you were continuing on your journey to make this new life for yourself, to finish that band, to go on your own journey, to find new love. I want to close this by saying something. We are human beings that all have feelings. It doesn't really matter how important we are, how much money we have, what we look like. None of that makes any difference. What matters is that every single life is precious, regardless of how we might think or react to someone that we maybe don't know or understand. We have no right at all to bully someone to submission to the point of which they want to take their lives. I'm so angry that this continues to go on, that the message is not out there, that this is unacceptable behavior. Unacceptable behavior not only in life, but on YouTube, on any kind of social media. Bullying is not right. Figure it out, my friends, and love one another. Do not ever allow something to come out of your mouth that is hateful. Hate is a word that has such depth to it. I don't think that we even realize that when somebody is bullying, what they're doing to someone else's life, someone who might be fragile, someone who may have lost their life because of your ridiculous and stupid words. Last thing I want to say is, Lee, I know you're in a better place. I know you're in a better place right now. I know your pain is gone. That doesn't make it any better, because we really wanted you here. We wanted you to be here with us. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you and Max and Aki for turning my depressed life around by running across your channel by accident and making my life feel so much better, because that's exactly what it did. I just was talking to family members a few minutes ago, and when I told them what had happened, it was just unbelievable. It was like we were reliving this tragedy all over again. We love you, Lee. We're going to miss you. And to Lee's family, we hold you deeply in our hearts. And we know the pain that you're going through. I mean, we can't really know the pain that you're going through, but I understand the pain that you're going through. Everyone feels differently about things. I know that in time you will be strong and you will use Lee's life to do positive things. I know you've already started to do that, and I am going to make sure that I get the thousands and thousands of people that I follow or who follow me on Facebook and other places and social network, that this message gets across, because this is the last straw for me with the cyberbullying and all the other nonsense. And I am going to be an advocate for this. I hope this doesn't take away our rights for using comments and things like that on YouTube, because this very well could be a landmark event that changes everything. When something like this makes national news, it's important enough to make sure that we understand that when cyberbullying is taken too far and a person loses their life, that is a bridge too far for all of us. I'm going to close by saying this. I sent a message out on Lee's channel, and I hope Lee's family gets it. I write quotes, and I have a book that I'm putting together, and I am going to dedicate the one that I sent to you in Lee's name when that book is published. I am so sorry for your loss. I am so sorry for your loss. I get it, probably more than most people would, because I have lived through this absolutely horrific event myself with my son, and I see what he goes through. I see it, and I understand it. I don't even know how I tell him about this, because it will bring up such horrible images in his mind of the love that he lost. Max, I'm thinking of you, and I know that you're hurting. I know that all of Lee's friends are hurting, but I know that you're especially hurting along with Lee's family. You hang in there and you hang tough, Max, because this had nothing to do with you. Lee loved you, and I know she did. I know that in her heart you were still part of her life. Anyways, I hope that all of you will look at the information that I'm going to put down below about suicide prevention and where you can get help. I hope that you'll take advantage of that, and you will reach out to someone, like I said, whether it's a family member, a friend, or a complete stranger. Sometimes it's a complete stranger is the easiest person to confide in. But I will leave that information down below. I don't care about likes. I don't care about subscribing. I don't care about the monetization or anything. This was so important to me that I had to make this video. I just had to. And I know there's a lot of people out there in the community that Max and Lee were in that are hurting today. And they're hurting in ways that I can't understand. I love you too. I love you too. And if any of you are feeling pain and you're hurting and you want to reach out to me in the comments, please do, because I am somebody that's a good listener. And if you don't, that's fine too. But I hope that you know that we love Lee and we're going to miss her. See you on the next one.